I think it's about time we spoke about Chase Bank's 524 rule. And in today's conversation, I am explaining the rule to you in simple, everyday English. Don't go anywhere. You're going to love today's conversation. I guarantee it. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sort of Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you're all doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous, if you were to ask me. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. In today's convo, I want to speak to you about the Chase 524 rule, okay? Now, what is that rule? In order to be approved for any Chase card subject to 524, you cannot have opened 5 or more personal credit cards across all banks in the last 24 months. Okay, I'll speak about the business cards later on. So this means you actually need to be under 524 to be approved. The 524 rule only applies to getting approved for cards issued by Chase, but your 524 accounts includes credit cards from all banks. This is very important. So the 524 rule remains in place today. However, without any published policy from Chase, dissecting the 524 rule still relies heavily on crowdsourced data, okay? And one thing we have seen in our analysis is that there are outliers, data points that can turn out to be false, as well as exceptions to what we generally believe to be true. No matter what you may read or personally experience, it's generally not a good idea, in our view, to try to game Chase. Because if Chase decides it doesn't want you as a customer, it can shut down your accounts, and you don't want that. Because if this happens, you will lose the ability to earn and redeem valuable ultimate rewards points. So please, folks, be strategic in planning out your applications, both with Chase and other credit card issuers. Now, are all Chase cards subject to the 524? Not really. So most travel cards issued by Chase are subject to 524 for approval, including co-branded cards. So the following are cards reported to be subject to the 524 rule. I want you to look on the screen, folks. So we have the Chase Freedom Flex, the Chase Freedom Unlimited, the Ink Business Cash Credit Card, the Ink Business Preferred Credit Card, the Chase Sapphire Preferred Card, the Chase Sapphire Reserve, the Southwest Rapid Rewards Plus Credit Card, the Southwest Rapid Rewards Premier Credit Card, the Southwest Rapid Rewards Premier Business Credit Card, the Southwest Rapid Rewards Priority Credit Card, the Southwest Rapid Rewards Performance Business Credit Card, the Starbucks Rewards Visa Card, the Unlimited Club Infinite Card, the United Quest Card, United Explorer Card, United Gateway Card, Air Lingus Visa Signature Card, Amazon Prime Rewards Visa Signature Card, British Airways Visa Signature Card, Disney Premier Visa Card, World of Hyatt Credit Card, Iberia Visa Signature Card, IHD Rewards Club Premier Card, IHD Rewards Club Traveler Credit Card, the Marriott Bonvoy Boundless Credit Card, the Marriott Bonvoy Bold Credit Card. One thing I want to say is that just because the card is not on the list that I just gave you does not necessarily mean it is not subject to 524. So you just want to really, really double check that. How do you check your 524 status? The thing is that instead of tracking your 524 status manually, there are tools that can help you figure out where you are in your credit card journey. So in our research, we have found that the easiest ways to check your 524 is to sign up for free credit report services such as credit.com, Credit Sesame, or Credit Karma. One thing I want to say here is that those credit reporting services are free, but you have to be able to give them your data because they use your data for other stuff. For example, Credit Karma, they will use your data to sort of push on you other services, other products. They have a tax unit. So, but those are great services, okay? And what you want to do is when you go to any of those services, you have to go to your account and you'll have to see all your accounts in a list. You want to click on open dates to sort the accounts you have opened in the last 24 months by date. And Chase only looks at whether an account was open. It doesn't matter if you've since closed it. So according to most recent data points, you will not technically be below 524 until the first day of the 25th month after your fifth account was opened. Let me repeat that. You will not technically be below 524 until the first day of the 25th month after your fifth account was open. For example, if your fifth most recent account was opened on January 1st, 2022, do not apply for a new card until January 15, 2024. So what to do if you are under 524? The first plan of action should be to complete the Chase Quartet, which consists of the Chase Sapphire Reserve, Chase Freedom Flex, Chase Freedom Unlimited, and Inc. Business Cash Credit Card. So using this card together will allow you to maximize, in our view, the ultimate rewards program and help you make the most of your everyday purchases. However, one thing we have seen in our analysis is that the card opportunities do not end there. There are several other ultimate rewards points earning cards, as well as plenty of lucrative co-branded airline and hotel cards worth considering, such as, for example, you have the United Explorer card and the World of Hyatt credit card. And so what to do if you are over 524? This is very important. One thing we have seen is that your options for valuable credit cards outside of the Chase ecosystem are endless. For example, American Express has its own trifecta of cards that can unlock a powerful combination of earning rates, welcome bonuses, and perks. So you have the Platinum card from American Express, the American Express Gold card, and the Blue Business Plus credit card from American Express. Then there are all of American Express co-branded cards like the Merit Bonvoy Brilliant American Express card and the Delta Sky Miles Platinum American Express card. And that's before you even consider all of the other issuers out there, such as Capital One, Citi, Wells Fargo. Now let me sort of talk to you specifically about the cards that count towards the 524. What accounts add to your 524 status? So here are the following accounts. So all personal credit cards open with any bank, even if they are not closed. Business cards open with Capital One, Discover, and TD Bank. Authorized user cards from another person's personal card, as they are reported on your credit report. However, one thing we recommend is to call the Chase reconsideration line and ask for these accounts to not be considered. You can do that. They allow that. They also add to your 524 counting status specific store cards, and those, especially the cards that are part of a national payment system and can be used elsewhere. Some data points suggest that even store cards that can only be used at a single establishment also now counts. So the following accounts will not count toward your 524 standing. So cards you apply for but are denied, right? Are denied for. Credit inquiries are not counted. You also have small business cards from the majority of card issuers, with the known exceptions we spoke about earlier, right? So TD Bank, Discover, and Capital One. And auto loans, student loans, and mortgages, those do not count towards your 524 standing. Okay? Now, there are certain things you need to consider when applying for new cards. Pretty much any small business credit card, with the exception of Capital One, Discover, and TD Bank, as I said earlier, can help you continue to earn sign-up bonuses while staying under 524. However, please keep in mind that other card issuers have their own restrictions in place that might affect your approval. I will speak about that later on. It's also important to know that you don't have, like, the thing is, you don't need to apply for a brick and mortar store card in order to qualify for 524. Whether you sell used clothes or are online tutor on the side or simply spend your own money on business expenses as an employee, you are eligible to apply for any business credit card, okay? Just remember that you should try to keep business and personal expenses separate whenever possible, because business cards do not have the same consumer protections as personal cards, and mixed expenses can get messy during tax season. So, and Chase will, at the end of the day, count certain business cards towards your 524 standing anyway. So please be strategic. So to wrap up this section, please remember TD, Capital One, and Discover business cards count towards your 524 status, Anything else does not, but it's just better to keep anyway your overall count of credit cards, both business and personal, at a good minimum. Let me talk to you now about how to 524 proof your business cards. Okay, so what are the cards that do not count towards the 524 rule? And so there are four business cards that can help you stay under Chase's 524 rule. So we have the Chase Inc. Business Preferred Credit Card. And this is a great card because the sign-up bonus, you can earn 100,000 points after you spend $15,000 on purchases in the first 3 months. It comes with an annual fee though, $95. So while you have to be under 524 in order to be approved for this card, the Inc. Business Preferred will not count as one of the 5. Okay, the card is currently offering a stellar 100,000 point sign-up bonus after spending $15,000 in the first 3 months of card membership, and that's worth about $2,000 according to our evaluation. In addition, it comes with a variety of bonus categories that appeal to business owners. The second card that does not count for your Chase 524 rule is the Citi Business Advantage Platinum Select MasterCard. So here, the sign-up bonus, you can earn 65,000 American Airlines Advantage bonus miles after spending 4,000 in purchases within the first 4 months of account opening. The annual fee is $99, and this is with the first year. The third card, we have the Merit Bonvoy American Express card. Here, the welcome bonus is a $125,000 merit bonus points and 2 bonus free nights awards, each worth up to 50,000 points after you use your new card to make $5,000 in eligible purchases within the first 3 months of card membership. And certain hotels have resort fees though, something you need to know. The annual fee here is $125. And then you have the Chase Inc. Business Unlimited credit card. The sign-up bonus, you can earn $750 cash back after you spend $7,500 on purchases in the first 3 months of account opening. There is no annual fee here, and this is perfect for those who like flat rate cards. It's wonderful. So the 4 business cards that can help you stay under Chase's 524 rule, in our view, are the Chase Inc. Business Preferred Credit Card, the Citi Business Advantage Platinum Select MasterCard, the Marriott Bonvoy Business American Express Card, and the Chase Inc. Business Unlimited Credit Card. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another section of the Awesome Sweaty Kiwi Show. In today's conversation, I am speaking to you about Chase Bank's 524 rule, everything you need to know. Now, let me talk to you about 524 and conversions or upgrades. The question is, what about card conversions and upgrades? Depending on how a bank processes a card conversion or upgrade, also known as a product change, it might not be reported as a new account. So you need to double check that with your bank. So before completing an upgrade or product change, ask the bank if a hard credit pull will be completed. If the bank says yes, guess what? That could be a sign the account will be considered new and add to your 524 standing. So there are some methods you can use to bypass 524. One thing we want to say is that some methods of the past are now dead. They are. There used to be surefire ways to overcome 524 and get a card with the sign-up bonus you desire, but those avenues, based on our research, are no longer working. The following methods that used to circumvent the 524, they are now extinct. They're now dead, really. One is the Chase private client status, right? Back in the days, a few years ago, you can be a Chase private client and open as many cards as you want. Now, you can no longer do this, so yeah. Another method that is dead is the Chase pre-qualified offers from the online tool. So if you receive the Chase pre-qualified offers and you go ahead and apply after being pre-qualified, you will still count that as a 524. And sometimes you also have the selected for you offers that you can see once you're logged into chase.com. Those also do not apply anymore. They do not circumvent the 524 rule anymore. And if you apply it through Chase banner offers, all those again are just that. However, there have been some instances recently where cardholders were able to bypass the 524 rule through what they call the targeted Just for You offers. So to see if you're targeted, you want to navigate to Just for You under Explore Products in the left-hand menu bar when you are logged into your Chase personal account. So this is if you are already a Chase customer. And one thing I want to say is that you can apply for 2 Chase cards on the same day when you are 424 and get approved for both. You could, but it really depends. Okay, a few recent data points have shown that one of the applications may be automatically declined in this case. In either case, remember that Chase may scrutinize customers applying for a credit card too quickly. So our recommendation, folks, is not to push and only apply for 1 Chase card at a time. Okay. And so those are things you need to really understand. And one thing that I want to say here is that your application may be outright denied or marked for further review if you are under 524 but have authorized user accounts on your credit report that make you appear over 524. Very important. Now let's talk about ignoring the 524. When does it make sense to ignore 524 altogether? Because there are cases people think that, we understand that Chase is a behemoth, financial behemoth, but they're not omnipotent, okay? They're not omnipotent. They do have their own ecosystem, that's for sure, but there are ways that you can ignore. There are some cases where you can ignore the 524 rule. Now, if you receive an incredible targeted offer from American Express or Citibank or another card issuer, then you can ignore the 524 rule. Again, it's all about opportunity cost, right? Risk versus rewards. If you're playing in 2-player mode, you can also ignore 524, because if you're lucky enough to be playing in 2-player mode, what we call 2-player mode, meaning you have a spouse and family member you can team up with to accumulate points faster, you might find that you don't need all of your 524 slots. Okay, this is really important. You can also ignore 524 if you need specific miles for an upcoming trip. For example, depending on what you're trying to achieve, Chase Ultimate Rewards points might not be the best way to get you there. A prime example of this would be the Qatar Q Suites, which is undeniably the world's best business class products and a great experience for couples traveling together. So this is one of those things you need to think about, okay? Because if you have your eyes set on this double bed in the sky, your best bet is to book with American Airlines Advantage Miles. Another way is if you're interested in earning cash back, then you can ignore the 524 rule. Okay, and this is because Chase doesn't offer the most robust cashback card portfolio. When it comes to pure cashback, ideally you want a card that earns a minimum of 2% on every purchase, and cashback generally offers a lower return than points to begin with, so you can't afford to sacrifice another 0.5%. So you can go with the Citi Double Cash card, for example, or the Capital One Venture Rewards credit card. And if you're not eligible for business cards, then you can ignore Chase 524. And when should you stick with 524? If you cannot imagine opening 5 credit cards, if you're new to travel rewards and don't fully understand 524, and you don't have a clear card strategy in place, in that case, I would say wait a little bit, study the whole program, school yourself, and then start thinking about how to work around the 524. Let me give you other credit card restrictions, because when people think about the 524 rule, they think only Chase has that in place. Not always, okay? Because there are restrictions from all the major issuers on the market today besides Chase: American Express, Citi, Bank of America, Barclay Card, Capital One, and Wells Fargo. They all have some restrictions in place, and they pay attention to the number of cards, the number and timing of applications, and the sign-up bonuses. For example, American Express. In terms of a number of cards, they want you to actually, even though this is not a written rule, they want you to stick to 4 or less, 4 or fewer cards. The number of timing of applications, again, you can apply for 2 cards in a single day, but you may be approved for only 1, and they might think that this is a fraudulent transaction, so you don't want to do that. You may be able to get approved for more than 2 cards in a 90-day period. In terms of welcome bonuses, you have a plethora with American Express. Then we have Citi. In terms of number of cards, there's no policy written out there. The number and timing of applications, you can only apply for 1 card, personal or business, every 8 days and no more than 2 cards in a 65-day window. You can only apply for 1 business card every 90 days. In terms of welcome bonuses, basically you can actually earn a welcome bonus multiple times on any given card. There's no problem here. What about Bank of America? The number of cards, there are no clear rules about that. So this is something you need to think about. And the number and timing of applications, you can only get approved for 2 new cards in a 30-day period. You can only get approved for 3 new cards in a 12-month period. You can only get approved for 4 new cards in a 24-month period. So this is something you need to know. In terms of welcome bonuses, once you make it through these restrictions and actually get approved, the bank doesn't have any published language restricting your sign-up bonuses. What about Barclay card? So Barclay typically doesn't limit the number of cards you have open with them at any one time. So yeah, the number and timing of applications, not a problem. One thing we want to say is that you likely would not get approved for multiple applications on the same day, even if you call reconsideration. And in terms of welcome bonuses, they haven't prevented you from earning the sign-up bonus on a card multiple times, as long as you close the card first and then wait to apply. Okay. What about Capital One? Number of cards, there's no restriction from Capital One. And number and timing of application, no restrictions either. Welcome bonuses, they're pretty open here. For Wells Fargo, same thing. They don't have, for number of cards, there's no restriction. And the number and timing of application, we haven't seen any language from Wells Fargo restricting that aspect of things anyway. So folks, to want to recap here, one thing I want to say here is that 524 is now a firmly entrenched rule with no signs of disappearing anytime soon. This means what? It means that you need to be extremely strategic about your application, that's for sure. You need to be strategic about your reward strategy so you can maximize your 5 allowed chase slots. So if you're starting in the realm of credit card rewards and aren't close to 524, you really want to prioritize getting chase cards first. But remember not to try to fill your 5 slots with chase cards quickly, because applying for that much credit so fast is, in our view, a surefire way to invite unwanted attention from Chase and basically jeopardize your long-term relationship with the bank, and you don't want that. Okay, so please take it nice and slow, and you want to be smart about which cards you apply for and when you do it. All right, folks, let me quickly recap today's conversation. So I was talking to you about the Chase's 524 rule, everything you need to know, and I gave you a definition of the rule, how to check your 524 status, the cards that count towards your 524, how you can choose the 524 proof business cards, 524 and conversions or upgrades, when you can ignore the 524, and other credit cards restrictions you need to know about. Okay? Thank you so much for your attention. I will see you next time, but until then, remember, stay marvelous.